All right. We'll give everybody a second to get on because I don't think we have anyone
We're
on.
early.
All right.
Mute that.
Mm-hmm.
There's your chat. I'll be in control of that over there too.
All right. Okay. Hopefully we'll get some people on tonight.
Well, hey.
We got our little chickens. They're the real star of the live.
Right.
So I'm just going to sit here for a minute and kind of wait and see if anyone jumps on with us. And then I will get started with the live. If you're on and you want to say hi in the chat, feel free to say hi and let me know you're here.
Got 3 likes though. Somebody's out there. Oh, you know what I left out?
What?
My drink and my vape over there.
Oh,
Almost had it all.
there you go.
I had a super challenge.
My chickens down there. We got Shirley walking around, the big rooster. Pearls up on the bird bath. They're being really still. It's almost like they're frozen.
See one moving down there?
No, yeah, they're moving. It's just it's funny because they're being like unusually still right now.
We got somebody on.
I'm only showing 2 watching.
Isn't that everybody?
Would be me and you.
I guess so, huh?
We'll give it a minute. It's not 8 yet. And I don't mind sitting here watching my cute little chickens because everybody knows I love my chickens. Who knows? Maybe the lady we met at Petco today will be on.
Yeah.
Come here, Kate. You want to be in it? You come stand. Put your drink over there on the little brown table. My handsome boy. I don't do that. You want to say anything? No? Just hanging out. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get some people on. But I'll go ahead and get started and just, say welcome to What the Flock. And this is our second ever live stream. So I'm really hoping that this time we'll get a little more people to join us and just chat, get to know us. I was in Lazy Days Ahead live stream yesterday watching that, and a few people said they might hop on over here, so I'm kind of waiting around just to see if anybody comes over and joins us. And we got my little dancing buddy back here. Little dancing monkey. All right, be still. And again, all my chickens down here joining us in the corner so that you guys can see them. We decided to have a camera in the run today and just kind of let them be in the show too, since they're the real stars of the channel. Kaden, did you know that I found 3 eggs hidden in the coop? That's one of the things we're going to talk about if we get some people on here. We'll wait it out a few and we'll sit here and hang out. And if nobody joins us, then we'll just cut it short. Go sit down for a minute, buddy. We don't have any viewers yet. But on my clock, it's just now 8:02. So we'll give it a few minutes. Yeah, just try to do it not very noisy. Like, try to pick it up. That's good. Well,
Wait. I wish we had 3 game chairs.
get up. Yeah, come here.
Yeah.
There you go.
So cold.
Let me see if I can. That's a little better. So, why did the chicken cross the street?
Get to the other side.
To get the ball.
Guess what?
Chicken what? I agree with saying chicken jokes for the few minutes.
Yeah, just to see if we can get anyone to join us.
That sounds like a
We
good
got to give
idea.
people some time, you know, life gets in the way, and yeah, people have jobs and their own YouTube channels and families and farms that they have to take care of, so not everyone can just rush on over, and that's okay.
So this channel is going to inspire people to be a farmer.
Hopefully.
I bet so.
It'd be awesome.
I kind of thought about being a lawyer, but I'm like, no.
Yeah, that'd be a good job too. You could be a lawyer and a farmer. You can be a lawyer and have your own little farm at your house.
Yeah, but I don't want extra school.
You might change your mind about that one day. We'll see.
No, I don't want to go to college.
Well, you're going.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
Hold still.
I didn't mean to.
Okay, just hold still.
I'll fix the chair.
Okay. No. Go on. Goodbye.
No.
Nope. Goodbye. Well, then that's enough because you're starting to irritate me.
Well. Can we send this to?
Do you remember that one?
What is a cow in a hurricane?
What?
A milkshake. That never gets old. I want to tell you different ones.
Okay.
What is the worst jam?
What?
Traffic jam.
Traffic jam. That is a bad jam. What is the best kind of jam?
Strawberry jam.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I would have liked to have won the jams from Lazy Days Ahead live.
Yeah.
Those sounded interesting. I've never had prickly pear jam. I've never had watermelon jam or mango.
Yeah. I've had water.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would make a jam out of it. That's pretty interesting, actually.
Wait, is there dragon fruit jam?
There's so many different kinds of jellies and jams that I couldn't even begin to name them all. Well,
I might make a dragon fruit jam.
Guess we can talk about finding your eggs in funny spots.
Yeah. I want to also show that on Lazy Days Ahead Live, they were giving away seeds for the spider flower. And it turns out I found some growing in my yard, and I was wondering what they were. They just kind of recently bloomed. And we've only lived in this house for almost a year, so a lot of this stuff was already planted, and I had no idea these were here. And now I know what they are. So that's one thing that I found interesting that I learned today. Another thing was I haven't been getting I just started getting eggs to begin with, for one. But I did think, okay, well, I should be getting like at least 3 eggs a day. And I started noticing out for the past few days I only got 2 eggs a day. And I was like, okay, well, that could just be because they're new to laying, and maybe I just, didn't see them or whatever. Maybe they haven't laid that well. Well, today, and again, 2 eggs. And I was like, okay, I have at least 4 that are laying, maybe 5. And I decided to do a hunt, and I found 3 eggs that were all hidden in their coop in a little area that I had made for them in case they wanted to use it as a nesting box. And they hadn't until now. I think they finally started realizing that we were coming in and taking their eggs. But these are starting to be decent sized eggs. They were really small to begin with. That's a really good size one right there. They're really pretty brown ones. I don't have any blue or green egg layers yet.
What? What? You said 13 wasn't enough.
I know what I said. But, oh, hey, Aoki Homestead. Thank you for joining us. In case you missed anything, turns out I have this flower that they were giving away on Lazy Days Live. I was wondering what it was because it randomly sprouted up. And like I said, I've had this house for less than a year. And now I know it's the spider flower. Or the hassle. Whatever, something hassle. And then again, yeah, I found my chickens stashing their eggs. So now I know that I'm going to have to start really searching all around to find out where those eggs are.
Yep.
And this little guy here is my boy, Caden. It's Mama's boy. And hopefully we'll get a few more viewers. Oh, is it? Okay, I have another amaryllis out there, but they had already bloomed and kind of lost their flowers. So, and right near them, actually, these are where they popped up. So that's interesting. But they're cool. Or grandfather's whiskers, they said was another name for him. I thought was kind of neat. Let's not do that, buddy. So, we do have on my little... Oh, your grandmother says hi, Kaden. Or
Hi.
Meemaw, as she likes to be called. Meemaw. She's in the chat over there, buddy.
Oh. Hi.
Yeah. That's your daddy's mom. She's
Oh.
saying hi to you.
Naked ladies. That's the name of those flowers.
Really?
Read the comment.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, they were giving away the seeds on their live, and they said it was a colonial. I don't remember. It's a long name, hassle something, and or they were saying a lot of people are calling it the spider flower or grandfather's whiskers. Yeah, I thought they were kind of neat. They just popped up in the garden. Luckily, there's a lot of things here that the previous homeowner decided to plant. There were annuals, like the hostas, they come back by themselves, and those come back. The lilies, the amaryllis, they all bloom on their own, so that was pretty nice. Meemaw said she's watching you on TV, Kaden. Let's see. How many viewers does it say we have?
4.
4. Okay. Maybe we'll pick up. Hopefully, it's still early. And it's only my second live stream, so.
Mr. Gar, M. Gar.
The eggs were delicious. They have very rich yolks. They're great. And I normally get about 3 to 4 a day, and then I just for the past few days I've only been getting 2. So now I'm gonna have to float test these to find out how old they are, because these 3 I just found hidden in their coop. So I should have more tomorrow by noonish. Usually they're done laying by about 1 or 2.
What?
Okay.
Egg.
Well, that's good to know. I'm new to gardening. Like I said, I'm new to all of this. The flowers and stuff just kind of came with the landscape that I have. I haven't really. I planted some flowers around the chicken coop, some African daisies, and just some wildflowers. All right, Kaden, come on, stop. Just some wildflowers and things like that. All right, go on now. Come on. Yes, it's time for you to go play. The float test is when you put the egg in a bowl of water, and if it sinks to the bottom, it's fresh. And if one end starts to lift up, that usually means it's stale. And if the whole egg floats, it's bad. So that's just a way to test their freshness. Normally, you probably would want to candle them too, which is holding them up to a bright light just to make sure there's not a baby in there. But my roosters are only maybe 4 or 5 months old, so they shouldn't be making babies just yet. But we've had them fried and scrambled so far, and I also put them in a cake. I made a cake with some homemade banana buttercream icing. It was pretty good. And then if you look in the bottom of the camera, you can see up on the log there is my beautiful lavender Orpington rooster. His name is Vern. And then over on the railing, the dark one, is my French black copper Moran, and that is Oreo. I have 5 Isa Browns. They're a little harder to tell apart. Henrietta, you could tell because she's just kind of bossy. And then Pearl, she's my white chicken. I think the little fluffy butt right there on the ground is Diamond, it kind of looks like. It's hard to tell. No, Diamond's in the back. I took in 5 new girls. We named them Portia, Mercedes, Diamond, Candy, and Cinnamon. But so another thing that's happened is I took some gardening tips about adding vinegar to the soil for my cucumbers and tomatoes, which was not at all a good tip, and they're completely dying now. Like, my cucumber vine looks very sad, and the tomato leaves are all turning brown, and it was terrible. Yeah. Yep. That is the theme we went with, the 5 new girls. It was just funny. They all came from a poor situation and needed a new start. So this is their fresh start. But it was cute. They're all a little bit more skittish. Cinnamon, I'm not sure what breed she is, but Portia and Mercedes are Gold Lace Wyandottes, and Candy is a Isa Brown, and Diamond is possibly either a Golden Comet or a Buff Orpington. I'm not sure. And then again, Cinnamon, I have no clue. She's kind of red and spotted. I did not ever get a bigger potato. There was the tiniest little potatoes. I ate them anyways, all 4 bites, but but for one, I didn't buy a seed potato, so I planted a store-bought potato that sprouted, and those are known not to yield so well. And I think I needed to fertilize better. I learned a few things from that, so I'll definitely be trying again. I can see you, Aoki Homestead.
Can we see her?
Did I miss it? I know that she responded to the bad eggs float and about the leaves coming up before the flowers. Yeah, I ate them. I bought 2 tomato plants after my initial first one was doing so well, and then the weather got really hot, and like I said, I took that bad gardening advice with adding the vinegar to the soil that literally killed my. I mean, like I'm gonna still try to save them, but it is not looking. I'm pretty sure the cucumber plants did. I don't know if that's due to vine borers or cucumber beetles, or the weather or the vinegar, but all I know is 2 days ago I added vinegar and everything looks dead. But I'm glad that that means that you've been watching my videos, so thank you so much for that, because that makes me feel good. I'm gonna try potatoes again next season, but I'm going to go to the store and get seed potatoes. Go to the feed store out here and buy some, probably russets. And I've actually joined a bunch of gardening groups so that I can get better at this. I really want to be able to be more self-sufficient, and like in the event of another pandemic or a government shutdown or any million situations that could arise, I would really like to know that my family is going to be okay. So I'm trying to learn more about canning and dehydrating. I'm going to try to make powdered eggs. I know the idea of eating powdered eggs sounds kind of gross, but I think if you're in a blizzard or a tornado, which we do have tornadoes here, I think, if that's all you had, eventually you'd be pretty happy about those powdered eggs. So, uh-oh. Shirley got Pearl.
Oh, no video.
Yeah. There's a little chicken love down there. Sorry, guys. Here comes Big Vern.
What else do we want?
About, well, let's see. I want to learn. Oh, well, I would love to add some like kind of like space type foods, like the NASA foods you can buy and some of the dehydrate. I want a freeze dryer, but I can't afford one yet. I've looked into the freeze dried foods. Like, can you snort the powdered eggs? I mean, you could. Maybe I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. I don't know what would happen, so.
Next.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, I can get Mike to do the
You can do the
snort
taste of
powdered eggs.
operation, snorting.
I'll taste them and he can snort them. But yeah, we want more veggies, and I want to add fruit trees. I live in Georgia, in Northwest Georgia, so I can't really do citrus because it gets too cold in the winter. But I can do like peaches, blueberries, raspberries, pears, apples. There's a few others, but I think I'm gonna try cherries and apples and pears to start with. And then my chickens found that we have some wild blackberries on my property, but they ate them all when they found them. So now that I know they're there, though, I can try to baby them and make them, in case no water, just put them in your mouth and hold them there for a while. But I do keep a case of water downstairs in my house. I have a little room where I keep some emergency. I have canned goods and candles and even like some 2 liters of soda and like ramen, canned soups, things like that would be good in case of a power outage or wherever we're trapped in the house for whatever reason or another. I just need to get a toilet paper plant now. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we have bamboo. That's what all the mismatched socks are for. But we definitely want to add more food that I'm growing. So next year we're going to get rid of the shed we have in our backyard and put a dog run over it that's completely caged in, so it will protect it from the squirrels and the chipmunks and the groundhog that likes to live in my yard. Also from my chickens. And I'm going to try and end the ground garden this year because I did all on pots this time. I was new to it and I was really afraid to kind of dive in full speed. I wanted to see if I thought I'd be good at it before investing too much time and money. But now I think I'm pretty hooked on it. And even though a lot, like for example, I didn't get one single edible cucumber. I got 2 squash. One was beautiful, but by the time I got back from Pigeon Forge, I believe.
No, we're in Nashville.
Nashville. We were in Nashville. The worms had got it. So I picked it and I was so excited and I took it in and I turned it over and it had 3 big wormholes down it. I mean, we could. I can't guarantee they'll dance on it, but maybe, maybe if we like grease it up and put little mealworms on it, might get their attention. You might have to throw them some bugs to get them to do anything. Yeah.
The stripper pole dance area is the bird bath thing.
Yep. Well, Laverne and Shirley are my roosters. They were supposed to. Well, they were hopefully going to be girls. They were straight run when I bought them, so I knew I was taking a chance. But Vern, we changed his name to Vern because he's a fairly quiet, sweet rooster. Shirley's obnoxious and loud, so Shirley definitely got to keep. It's kind of like Johnny Cash, A Boy Named Sue. You're going to keep your name as Shirley. Plus the movie Airplane, I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. So that's their names. And then the other ones are Lucy and Ethel and Oreo and Pearl and Nugget. And then the 5 with the stripper names also, which was just for my own humor. I'm not sure about the keeping the worms away. I am still new to all of it, but I'll have to look into that though, Glenda. I'm not real sure. On top of that, though, we are learning a little bit more about canning and making like jellies and pickling and dehydrating. We got a dehydrator now, so we can add some things to our doomsday stock or our survival kit, whatever you want to call it. I think I want to add like more like one of those emergency radios and a few little things like that too, just because in 93 there was a really bad blizzard out here. It actually started on my birthday and I woke up to 3.5 feet of snow, no power. My mom, I believe, was pregnant at the time, and we didn't have like a lot of people in the South have kerosene heaters and stuff, and we didn't have that. So it took us like 2 or 3 days before someone with a truck could rescue us and get us somewhere where there was actually like hot food and like a kerosene heater for heat and things like that. So that was kind of scary. And then we had a couple different tornadoes out here. And one time I was without power for like 2 weeks. And it went near my mom's house. So I definitely tried to not quite. I did use like all my ingredients for my salsa. I did have to buy cilantro though, because I did not grow cilantro, which I'm gonna have to grow some cilantro. I eat so much cilantro, like I could just grab a fistful of cilantro and eat it. Also, Mark, there is a place in Ellijay, Georgia that is supposed to have the best burrito in Georgia. Maybe we should go check it out. Just saying.
Mark? Mark Garcia.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure it out, but when he kept on about the stripper names, I put the two together. That was Mark. And that's Mike typing in the chat for me, by the way. And then when he said Nashville, baby, I was like, Mark.
I didn't get it. I even said why we were in Nashville, and I was like,
Well, it's nice. At least my friend's here to support me, so you know that feels good.
only where I had like 2 subscribers under any dog.
Yeah, I want to try it, and I'm pretty sure that Ella J is also where that Squidbillies monument is that me and Pablo took pictures at, which was pretty funny. But it looks like we might have lost our Okie homestead.
She was saying, she was like, I think she was having trouble.
Yeah, she might have had some connection problems. And also, she's got her own whole little homestead. She's, you know, she's got a lot more animals than I do to take care of. She's got goats, which I really want. I love watching her videos. You know, there's just some things that give it away when it comes to Mark. Like a certain type of humor. You're like, Mark. That's too funny. I've known him since high school, and
Say how long we've known him.
yeah, a long time. Our chickens, they're so cute, you guys. Look, that's one of the new ones up on the bird bath. That's a gold laced Wyandotte. It's actually pretty cool because right now, none of my older girls are picking on the new girls. They're actually like Pearl's right there, and normally she goes after them. And then Henrietta attacks them all the time. The next animal I plan on getting is, if it's not more chickens, maybe a possum. Because, yeah, I definitely want goats. We just don't have room for goats right now. But I do know a guy who rescued 3 baby possums. They were wild. They're not from a breeder. So, you know, they're sweet. They're not mean. I've already held them. But they are not necessarily tame. They're definitely feral. So I have to decide before making the commitment if I have the space and the means to keep them safe for my dogs and stuff, as well as the time and patience to put into really making them domesticated. Yeah, the pheasants are cool. Mike's really obsessed with the pheasants. We saw some at Parrot Mountain, is that what it's called, in Pigeon Forge, and they have all these cool birds, including these really cool pheasants. They have one of those ones that look like a dinosaur with the crazy beaks. I want goats, and I want an emu. I saw an emu chick, and they are so cute. What?
My mom. She said, "What do possums eat?" And I said, "People."
Oh my gosh. Possums don't eat people. They can eat cat food, and they can eat just about anything you could eat. So you, just like a human, should want to eat less processed foods, more fresh foods, a decent balance of carbs and veggies and meats. That's kind of how it is for possums. They need a mixture. So my friend who rescued the 3 babies off of a dead mommy, he feeds them cat food and fresh fruits and veggies. Cat food gives them their meat, and then they get their fruits and veggies. So, but he said people. Oh, if you guys check out the camera right now, down in the chicken camera, if you look, you can see that some of my chickens have already went inside their coop, and they're up on their roosting bar.
If you want to make it bigger, you can take the mouse, click
Oh,
it.
it's okay. But they're up there on their roosting bar. Yeah, my friend Blake had a pet skunk, and while she didn't have her stink glands, or whatever, but she was kind of mean. She was nice to him, but she was iffy about everybody else. I want a raccoon so bad. Technically, they're not legal in Georgia or Tennessee, but you know, I still want one. My Aunt Sam had a blue jay like that was wild and would come and eat peanuts right out of their hand. And a raccoon too, actually, that was wild. Aw, I miss Bill. But I am gonna have to float test these eggs though, before I eat them because I don't want to crack them open and them stink. So watch out for Grandpa's whiskers. Sounds totally creepy, actually. Well, I mean, you can. I don't know if they just empty their little stink sack or what they do, but they can make it where they can't spray anymore, and that's what they did. You can buy them in certain states from skunk breeders, but oh my gosh. Yes, raccoons are extremely smart and they like shiny things. The one that was wild that would come up and like eat out of our hands at my Aunt Sam's house would also steal shiny things. So like if you left your keys laying around or anything shiny, that raccoon would grab it, run over to the little fountain in my Aunt Sam's yard and rinse it off and like try to hide it, which was pretty funny. Ooh, there is a crow at the Chattanooga Zoo here that is super sweet, and it comes to me when I call it, and it will actually let me reach in and pet it. Not like the one at Parrot Mountain that tried to bite me when I tried to pet it, which is my own fault. It was wild, and I shouldn't have done that. But the one at the Chattanooga Zoo loves me. Yeah, my video game channel was Ruby Raven. I definitely love them. I'm not normally a fan of birds, but those birds are they're super smart. In Arizona, there's a place called Bearizona, and if you want to make a donation, you give the crow $1 or whatever, and it will take it and fly it to the box and drop it in, and then come back and take the next person's money, drop it in the box.
He was super smart.
Yeah, those ones were so smart. And then I've been watching a thing, I think it was on Disney Channel, for the Disney's Animal Kingdom. And they have apparently this crazy like parrot show that they do. And I was watching them train the parrots. I watch like animal shows almost all the time. There's actually a show called Chicken People, which is about chicken shows. And the only ones of my chickens that are a heritage breed are the French Black Copper Moran and the Gold Lace Wyandottes, and their pattern isn't perfect enough to enter them into a chicken show. So let's see. How many viewers do we have right
We
now?
got 4 people right now.
Okay.
4 people, 4 likes.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
smart
bad.
to share it and get some people. We only got 20 minutes left. We can get some people.
Yeah, if
in
anybody
there.
wants to share this and they think anybody might actually watch it or click it, I want to point something out real quick. If you check out my chicken camera, if you notice the sun is going down right now and every one of my chickens has put themselves to bed. I was going to get the automatic chicken door, but I've secured their chicken run so well inside of a fenced-in yard with dogs that predators aren't really a problem. So I've decided to leave that open until the winter. Now, when the winter comes, I'll go in there and I'll close that and keep them in there on the colder days. And I'll also be boarding up the top window where they're all up there sleeping. That area will get plywood over it. And they'll have heat lamps in there to keep them warm. Because we do see temperatures in like the teens and like 12 degrees sometimes. Yeah, Ruby Raven. It was just something we came up with. My favorite colors are red and black, and I love ravens. And Mike also just kind of came up with like kind of like a badass little logo.
I'm really proud of that logo and that whole setup.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. But everybody knows that I only had like 8 subscribers on that channel. So it just proves that the chickens are the real star of this. Because like nobody watches this channel for me. They watch it because I have the sweetest, cutest chickens in the world. And I love them. Even though Shirley bit Mike.
Twice.
He tried to bite me once, but it was more like a warning. He just kind of went, but he bit Mike. They don't necessarily have to, but it seems to be their instinct. Some people have more stubborn chickens and they have to chase them around and shove them in the coop. But I've actually gotten really lucky that mine do things kind of naturally. They have been laying for the most part in their nesting boxes. But inside their coop, I also have like a little doghouse. Like I think the guy that lived here before had like a chihuahua, so it was like a tiny little doghouse. And I thought, I bet you they'd like that. And I bet you that there's Mike. I bet you that they would like to lay in there maybe. And at first they weren't. They were just using the coop, which if you look, he's taken the camera inside, and they were just using the inside, the nesting box on the prefab coop. But now they're hiding them because they don't want me to take their eggs. Like they literally get mad and make kind of scary noises sometimes when I go take the eggs. They don't do anything, but that's my Shirley and Vern. It's kind of funny that the 2 roosters are side by side. Oh. There you go. Those are their roosting bars, and that's a lot of chicken poop, but that's just because that's where they roost, and they tend to poop a lot. I go out there and scrape that periodically. I do the deep litter method, which is where you put like 6 inches of their bedding, and then you just turn it every so often. And then if it starts to stink, you just add a little bit on top. And then you only have to clean it twice a year. You go out there and you scoop most of it out. And then you can use that as compost. And you put fresh bedding down. And it's so much less work than cleaning your coop constantly. Because anyone who knows anything about birds knows they poop about every 2 minutes. That's Pearl. She is the absolute sweetest baby I have. She likes cuddles. The rest of them are a little iffy, but there's Mike being a ham. But yeah, so they tend to put themselves to bed right at sundown, and then they wake up pretty damn early too, because sometimes I hear my loud roosters. I'm lucky to have really cool neighbors that don't complain at all about my roosters. I pretty much just told them I would share my eggs with them if they didn't complain, and it's worked. But yeah, so that was my coop, and that was Mike. But I'm pretty lucky because if you noticed, like just a few minutes ago when we were all talking, they were all 13 chickens were out there in the run, and then as soon as it started getting dark, they just filed in and found their little bed. Where were the new girls sleeping? On top of the coop?
On top of the coop, all lined up real close.
Yeah.
But Vern's by himself on the floor.
Shirley's probably being mean to him.
Maybe.
Because there's only one head rooster, so. Yeah. Well, I put Maggie to bed earlier thinking, like, if I give her tablet, lay her down, maybe she'll go to sleep, so that I can do my live and she won't be down here. And then I went to give her some milk right before I came down. And she was already asleep, so she fell asleep by 7:30. But I can't wait. Actually, Mark, in Nashville, you should look into the rules about having chickens if you guys ever want any, because on that Chicken People show, was it Chicken People? There's a couple different ones. There's Chicken People and Cooped Up. It was on Cooped Up, and I think it was on like the Roku channel. But this lady in Nashville had chickens, and then the people started saying, look, you can't have chickens here. Like, as a matter of fact, you can't have them anywhere in Nashville. And she fought it and got a bunch of other chicken owners to, like, go against it, and now there's like people that in like suburbs, like in subdivisions in Nashville, that can have backyard chickens. So you might be allowed to have a few if you wanted. And my chickens will probably be making at least a few babies next spring because I'm going to let them hatch at least a few. Well, I was hoping to see MT Homestead and Danny Day's Homestead, maybe Rich Cat, but like I said, all of those people also have their own farms and their own kids and lives, and things come up. If an animal gets sick or hurt, it's kind of our jobs to be there. So maybe next time. But I'm so glad that Mark and Glenda came out to see us, because at least I'm not sitting here talking to myself. Because like for the first few minutes, I was literally just telling chicken jokes. So, And I'm glad my chickens got to be on there, because they are literally the sweetest chickens. Oreo doesn't like to let me pet her, but here lately, she's been coming around. Come this fall, when the weather cools off, I'm going to put a chair out there.
Oops.
We see your keyboard.
Up.
It's still there.
It should be off now.
Well, it's not. I can see like everything. But this fall I'm going to put a chair out there so that I can sit and get them a little more used to being held, and like just a little tamer. I mean, mine are pretty tame compared to some people's chickens, but they're more so like that with me. When a new person comes up, they're not so keen on them. You'd end up eating them. Well, the good news is most of the egg-laying chickens... Oh, hey, Dawn. Thank you so much for popping in. That's awesome. I really appreciate you stopping in and saying hi. But one thing is the meat chickens tend to be processed about 16 weeks. So you only have them about 4 months, and they get much bigger and much more tender and meat. But these chickens, by the time they get big enough to really eat, they're usually too tough. So, you could make chicken noodle soup or just like chicken broth, but you probably wouldn't want to eat them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've held these little babies since they were tiny, tiny, tiny little fuzzies. But to be honest, even when they were little, you're telling Caden's joke. Even when they were little, though, Oreo, the black one, and Laverne or Vern, the big gray one, they never really wanted to be held. The Isa Browns were real sweet, and Pearl was real sweet. Pearl was the first one to like fly out of their little brooder, which is just like, the chicken nursery. And then she just would fly up and land on us. And to this day, I'll be bent over cleaning in the coop, and she'll just land on my back and won't get off. She's very social compared to the rest of the chickens. Oh my gosh. That was an excellent joke. But I definitely put a lot of love into my chickens. Any animal that I have, that's probably the only reason I don't have meat chickens is 16 weeks is a long time to try to make me not get attached to an animal. I tend to get instantly attached to animals. I actually got a new fish today. I can't help it. It was looking at me, and it was like literally just staring at me. It was floating in one spot in the tank, just staring dead at me going. So we brought her home. Her name's temporarily Lava until I think of something better. She looks like lava. She's like orange and black and white.
Dawn. She has her first flock.
That's awesome. Because like I said, most of mine, Dawn, aren't quite like that. But Pearl is. The white one, she will just jump on you with no invitation needed. And she'll let me pick her up and carry her. Surely the rooster will let me carry him. He'll let me pick him up and hold him and pet him, but you could tell he doesn't enjoy it. He's looking at me like, really, Mom? What is it? Oh my gosh. We got Mike over here with the chicken dad jokes. He'll be in the next edition of the Chicken Daddy's calendar.
Shit.
Yeah, this is actually my first flock too. I got them back in March, and they kept them in my house until they were pretty big, and oh my goodness. You guys are silly. But yeah, so I've been excited. This has been less than 2 weeks that we've been getting our fresh eggs, so they're just starting to get like bigger eggs. I keep seeing a lot of people in the chicken groups I'm in getting double yolks, and like the yolk is my favorite part of the egg. Everybody knows that. I love to dip my toast in it, my sausage, my bacon, whatever. But I have not got a double yolker yet. Oh, it's a fly. Thank you. Mike made that for me.
What?
The chicken intro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know much about editing and, the whole graphics and all that. So that's where Mike really helps me, because I can't even get good footage most of the time because my phone won't focus, which is, if this is bad quality, that's probably why, because I'm filming with my phone right now, and it's probably honestly just not getting good focus.
We'll get that fixed here shortly.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of new stuff.
Come on, people. This is an easy one.
Wow, see, I'm jealous of all the double yolks. I really want a double yolk. I'm hoping. I really hoped for some colored egg layers, and like I said, my rooster Shirley, he ended up being a he, so no colored eggs from him. And then I also learned that not all Easter eggers will give you colored eggs. The mother had to have been a colored egg layer, so. Remember in that one video I did of Oreo, I reached down to pet my chicken Oreo and she took off running, and I was like, "You're such a chicken." And I was like, "Oh my God." She is a chicken. But she's like a super chicken though. Like, she just runs no matter what. Like, I've had her since she was a tiny baby. Come on now, I'm not gonna hurt you. Like, give me a break. Let me love you.
Oh, she's got olive colors.
I'm so jealous. Oh, really? I bought 4 Isa Browns, and then I took my chances on 3 straight runs, which was the Lavender Orpington, and what they told me was a Black Orpington, but it turned out to be a French Black Copper Moran. So she'll lay brown eggs too, but they'll be super dark brown. And then the Easter egger, and the Easter egger, which was, I was really like banking, like, please, please, please give me blue or green eggs, but nope. It's going to give me babies, apparently. Because he's been working out there already. He is ready to go. But, as time goes on, we'll see if I end up with some colored egg layers. It was kind of a pain.
Oh.
It was kind of a pain in the butt for me to integrate the 5 new chickens with the original 8. They weren't very happy about it. I tried letting them meet through cages first. I tried letting them free range first. And then several people suggested sneaking them in at night and putting them in all at night. And honestly, that has worked. There's still some fighting. And obviously, like, the original chickens eat before the other 5, but they all eat. I make sure I put plenty of food. Why did the rooster go to KFC? He wanted to see it. Oh my. You guys, do you see what I have to deal with? That's so funny. I'll go through and look and see if I can take a guess because I've done like tons and tons of research on like what breeds of chickens, like what color eggs and stuff. Um, and I actually have a chart that I saved that shows like all the, like the breeds that like green eggs and blue eggs and all that. And I'm really desperate for colored eggs, but unfortunately, I think I'm stuck with all brown eggs. Oh my god. Candy with a K.
Candy. Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
I got chicken jokes for days.
Well, I mean, we just bought this house, so we're going to keep, we have no intentions of leaving, but eventually I want to buy more property in a house with property, and I want water on the property. So either a creek or a pond, something I can, like, that we could fish in, which would be another source for us that if we ever needed to, we could sustain ourselves off fish and our garden and chickens and chicken eggs. And oh, Don's got a joke.
Okay.
Why did the chicken joke comedian laugh so much? Because he cracks himself up. That's awesome. That's pretty accurate in this situation, Don. He does crack himself up over there.
That joke inbound.
Oh my goodness. I really want some colored ones, colored egg layers, but I just 13 chickens. They eat a lot of chicken feed, and chicken feed is really expensive right now. So I'm trying to learn a little more about trying to find a local farm where I can A, support a local farmer and give him my business, and B, maybe find a cheaper and local source of food for my chickens. I'm having a hard time with that though. So far they're getting their food from Tractor Supply, and they also get scraps. Some people are against that. Some people aren't. Out here, there's two different kinds of people. There's the people like me that are like, I want to do everything right and baby my chickens, and I want them to have like the perfect little lives. And then there's like people like my friend's nanny who's like, just throw them in there, let them fight. So what? They're chickens. Who cares? Throw them scraps. Who cares if they die? That's how some people are, but. For them, they're not pets. They're just food. For me, they're both. They're my source of eggs, and they're my sweet little fluffy butts. I do let mine free range in my fenced-in backyard. If they really wanted to, they could fly over my chain link fence, but they don't. They're pretty good about staying here. I keep my dogs in. When they free range, my boy dog would probably leave them alone, but my older female dog, she sees like movement out of the corner of her eye, and I think it's like an instinct. She just goes for it. So I just don't trust them around my chickens. But they do free range in my backyard. They haven't been as much since I'm still getting them used to their egg laying cycle. And the 5 new girls are a pain in the butt. They don't just go back in the coop all normal like that. I have to chase them around the yard, and a lot of times I have to get my kids out there with me to catch all 5 chickens, and that's a bit frustrating, but I do let them out usually in the later part of the day because they're done laying their eggs by then, and you don't have to worry about an Easter egg hunt all over your yard. And then they have a decent sized run, and their coop is huge. Their coop's the size of this room that I'm in almost. Yes, the more of a diverse diet they get, and you'll get like they'll get like richer yolks. The yolks will be a lot more colorful. Yes, that is so true. And I try to be careful when I give them scraps too. I try to make sure I give them like the vegetable scraps and maybe a little bread and stuff, but nothing too like crazy. Like, um, oh, you do have a lot of predators. Yeah, I would. Oh, see, I live like pretty close in the city. Like I live in a rural area, so I would more say like I live close to town. But the biggest like I was worried about possums and raccoons at first because when I lived in the city before, we had them bad, raccoons especially. But I have not seen a single one. I have seen a groundhog here, but it's not messed with my chickens. And then I did see owls and hawks, and that was my biggest concern. But I do have a lot of trees and dogs and cats and kids that kind of keep the birds away. And the they don't go out at night, so the owls wasn't really a concern. It was mostly the hawks, and I've not lost a single chicken. I'm really lucky because when I first got my chicks, I got 8 chicks, and everyone's like, you might lose one. Sometimes they die, and I was like, oh my god. But so far, they've made it since March, and they haven't had bumblefoot, they haven't had coccidiosis, they haven't had, any illnesses. And that I am super thankful for because I love them. But I have studied a ton about what to do, like all these things. Some things, though, like if it happens, I'm going to have to make Mike do it because it's like I know what to do, but like if they get prolapse, Mike, he's the EMT. He knows what to do. He can fix it. I'm not doing that. I love possums. They get a really bad rep. And I mean, I can understand, like, if you have a possum in your yard killing your chickens, I can understand, like, why you'd be mad and why you wouldn't like that possum. But in general, they have a pretty great disposition. They're smart and they can be really friendly. Oh, goodness.
What?
What are you staring at, Jax? My doggy. Yeah, my doggy. Oh my gosh. This guy, you guys. Oh my goodness. He is something else. What do you mean, can you help a chicken? Like, I'm not sure if this is a joke or a real question because everybody's telling jokes at the same time. You can help, like if they have bumblefoot, you can soak their coccidiosis is a disease that chickens get that you have to treat with antibiotics. And I might be saying it wrong. It's a big word, but They bumblefoot is when they get a big infection on their foot, and usually you can soak that in Epsom salt and pick the infection out and then bandage it and put some ointment on it and they'll be fine after that. Okay, well, thank you for popping in, Dawn. That was very, very kind of you. I'm so thankful that you did. And we'll be sure to go and give all your videos a like when I see them come out. I have them whenever I see it. I have my notifications on, so I usually get a notification when you post a new one. Yeah, I agree, Mom. He's EMT trained. He can do it. Like, it can't be that much different than doing it to a person. So, like, I know I have, like, learned all the anatomy of the chicken, and I've learned, like I said, I've learned a lot about it, so I could tell him what to do if he doesn't know, and then he has, like, more of the experience of actually doing it, because there's just some stuff that'll freak me out. Jaxie, you're shaking the whole desk. Come on, stop.
Oh, God.
You guys. What was Mark's joke? I missed that one. Didn't he tell one up there?
What kind of...
No, I think he was asking what coccidiosis was.
I can't even say it. Let me spell it. Blair, get your noise. You're up by the mic.
Well, it is my hour, you guys. I was hoping to have a little more viewers the second time. There was a few people that told me they were going to stop in, but like I said, life happens. When you got a farm and kids, those take priority to watching someone's YouTube videos, so maybe next time.
Yeah, it is a lot of work.
You know, chickens are out of livestock, though. Like, if you're going to have livestock, they're honestly not as much. I go out there about twice a day, make sure they have food and water. I go up there more than twice a day, but that's just because I love them and I like to pet them and just check on them. But I really only have to go out there once or twice a day and just make sure they have food and water and, semi-clean conditions. That's all I really have to do. I want them to be like super happy. So my chickens literally have toys and a swing and a bird bath, and they have all these other little things that they don't have to have, but I'm sure they enjoy them. I like to think they do. I was asking if you told a joke in the chat earlier. I thought I saw you type one, but then I missed it. We might have started late, Mom. I'm not sure if that's why you didn't get the notification till like a minute late. Okay, Jaxie. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog there, but he's saying hi. But, oh my gosh, you guys, this dog. But anyways, thank you everyone for coming out. And, I'm going to start doing this, I think, every Sunday. So if you guys want to, try to get people interested, or anyone that's thinking about getting chickens and they might want to join and chat with us, then feel free to tell them about my channel. I met a lady at Petco today, told her about it. She may or may not join, so we'll see. Yeah, that's Jax. That's my whiny butt. He's always up my butt, crying and trying to get me to hold him, even though he weighs as much as I do. Yeah, it's right now, for example, it's not that clean because it's been so hot. So if you were to go out in my coop, the top of the doghouse is under their roosting bar, and so there's a ton of poop on that. But I just take that out and scrape it off, and that's it. And then the top of the prefabricated coop is where all the other girls like to roost, so they poop all over that, and I just have to scrape it off, and then I just turn the bedding. And for the chicken run, I just take a hose everything down. That's it. All right. Well, love everybody. Spread the word. Help me get my subscribers. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. When I get to 500, we'll do a giveaway. And I will see you guys next week.